Haka kinta keli jingkeli jong ke sengi syong dorbar. Haka dorbar mang tengka jong ke yeng dorbar tau an. Menteri Rangba ke Jelau Konrad Kongkel Sangma ulah pentip bagi dan hadu lai pu kendai ngot ki consultant shimet. Bat Henry pu kendai teli ki consultancy firm ni ki agency hapo ke Jylla. Menteri Rangba ulah ai ke jubab halor ke jingkeli ke balawan ra do MLA ke Maulai constituency na ke BPP uba Bright Star Well Marbaniang. Nalor kata, Konrad ulah pentip ru ban nakini ki lai pu kendai ngut. Bat Henry pu kendai teli ki consultancy firm tang Kumba hadu lai Persen ki bade ki Trai Jylla bat ki babun lawan ra na syabar bat ru ulah benrap baya menta ke sorkar kelas sedang ban ai jing hikai ye ki Trai Jylla bakin pentebit halor kini ki kam ki batrai kum ki consultant kata Kumba Henry pu Persen AA. Halor ke jing keli kumno bala seo yaki Menteri Rangba ulaong ba yakini la seo kat kum ki skim ki badan bat ru ban seo bat ke jinglut ha ke let kawan jongki ha gawai ka liang ha ke jing keli ke bala bu do ba Arden Miller basayo moit MLA ke Nongkrem constituency uban ke VPP ulaong babalai hab don kam ye ki consultant ha baki kena ki bade ki Trai Jylla ki la ban Trai badru baya ke jing seo ru ha ba pentrai ye ki kaduna kat baya kita ki bawan nasyabar la seo he Konrad Sangma ulaong baka sorkar ka penting kena baha baki Trai Jylla ki la ban Trai ya kani la le badru ban ong baka no Shillong ka jing seo kam dei ka ba shisha namar la seo ye ki klem ka jing don ka no kono ka jing bo re Konrad ulah pentip ru baha ka jing don ki consultants ka Jylla kala yo bon ki jing mentoy bat ban yo ru bon ki project ki bana syabar ka ri kum na ka jika bat kiwai de.
So reply to star question 57A. Sir, 1. Individual consultants 39, consultancy firms 69. B. So the total number of emoluments paid per annum to the above consultants cannot be determined due to the heterogeneity of the period of payment amongst the departments and scope of work and timeline for projects. Source of funding is from the specific project under which the consultants are hired. C. So mostly the traveling expenses is inclusive in the project cost. However, there are cases that the state government bears the expenses for official work as required by the state government beyond the scope of activities as per the agreement.
Professor, your supplementary, please.
Honorable Speaker, sir. Why I am raising this question is that on one hand, we have a huge number of unemployed technically qualified youth in the state, be it engineers, MBA graduates, or graduates in agriculture, horticulture, extra. And on the other hand, we have so many consultants. So my question is whether our unemployed youth are not good enough or not up to the mark as these consultants who are working for the government, whether it shows our incompetence. If that is the case, why not train up our unemployed youths for a 6-month course or on delivery systems methods, since we understand that what is taught in university or colleges is different from what is expected at work. If our youth are to work as professionals, I believe that government can invest in these short-term courses, as most companies do for the graduate trainees who enter newly into the companies, or what they call probation training programs.
Sir, just so that we can get the correct perspective on what's happening. Sir, from the government side, as we understand, there are different roles and responsibilities which politicians have to work on and bureaucrats have to work on, so on and so forth, sir. Sir, keeping that in mind, we are today, sir, in a very, very competitive world. If you look at the kind of schemes that we are getting today, we are competing with one of the best in the country and the world. So just to give you a small example, there is something called the challenge-based destination development under Swadesh Darshan. And for this, the government of India opens up this challenge to state governments. And for this, we have to prepare DPRs with so many technical specifications, which sometimes is beyond our officials also, and therefore we get the experts. And because of that, so just want to share with you that the challenge-based destination development, Swadesh Darshan, because of the kind of quality of proposals we put up, Meghalaya managed to get 200 crores under this challenge mode, the highest that any state got. And that is how this challenge works. In the last 7 years, sir, we were able to bring in 13 externally aided projects. This we compete globally, sir. And there are World Bank standards, there are standards of ADB, KFW, JICA, so you name it, NDB. All of these are international organizations and that work at the top level. And in the last 7 years, because of the professional work that we put in, we were able to get 7,427 crores because of the level of quality that we worked. So coming to the question and the reply to the honorable member's question, sir, is that absolutely correct, sir. We have to develop our own skills and capacity. We have to ensure that our own local boys and girls who are qualified are able to slowly or even quickly come up to that level where we are able to make the DPRs and projects at a level which is competing in the world standards and at the national standards. And that process is on. But while we move and train our people in that process, so we cannot lose time. These are window opportunities that close. If we do not submit the documents on time, we will lose the money. So I'll give you a very, very great example of this so that the House will also appreciate. So the project under the World Bank, which we call the MEGA project, which is the Meghalaya Economic Growth Corridor, sir, but I can't remember what it was, sir. But the MEGA project, which is again the roads projects, the connectivity projects that we had put in. So we went and met Honorable Finance Minister. She told us, submit the DPRs immediately. So we had a window of 48 hours to submit DPRs worth 2,400 crores. And because of the consultants and the professionals that we engaged, we were able to submit that in 48 hours. And because of that, within a matter of 7 days, the Finance Ministry sanctioned 2,400 crores. So therefore, sir, windows open and close very fast. So therefore, while we are training our individuals, so let me also share with the honorable member that the number of local boys and girls who have started taking this work, working on the job, getting trained, the number is going up. More and more of our boys and girls today are coming into this consultancy area, and a lot of them are getting the jobs. But can we get all of them in one go? Maybe not, because we can't lose the opportunity of these projects slipping out of our hand. And hence, it's a balance we're maintaining. I appreciate the point mentioned by honorable member, and I'm assuring him that that is precisely what my target also is. And that's why we are training them on the job, we are giving them training. There are different skill programs that we're having, different conferences, we have different exposures that we send our boys and girls to. So all of this happens, sir. And another thing I just wanted to add before I sit down, sir, is that these projects that we do, the consultants that are there are paid. Sir, the cost of this consultancy is incorporated in the project itself. So the 2,400 crores that we have got sanctioned now, which is coming in for the mega project, 1% of that is meant for the meant for the consultancy expenditure, and it is mandated by these different agencies that you must have a consultant on board. And that is why the cost factor also is very much within the cost of the project, and there's no extra burden on the state government or the state exchequer. And to close this question, in terms of this particular supplementary, that just to give an idea, so the caliber that's required, so we have a lot of environment and social impact norms globally. We need legal experts who understand these environment and social impact at the World Bank and other agency level. There are very complex technical aspects that have to be put in. There are a lot of financial modelings that need to be done, which again is at an international level. There are different IRRs, the internal rate of return has to be calculated, so on and so forth. So my point being, these are technically very complicated. We cannot miss out the time, and hence we have to move forward. But in the process, we have to, yes, ensure that slowly and steadily our boys and girls also, their capacity goes up so that we are able to maximize on this opportunity as well.
Thank you, the Honorable Chief Minister, for the reply. But then I would like to specifically know from the Honorable Chief Minister, like from his reply to the question A, with regards to individual consultant, there are 39, and consultancy firm 69. So may I know from the Honorable Chief Minister, out of these consultants, whether individual or firm, how many are local and how many are from outside?
So it's a large number, but there are many firms and individuals who are working who are local, sir. Roughly plus minus, because what happens is these numbers keep changing, because these posts are very task specific. So maybe somebody is employed today and maybe tomorrow the person is relieved. So therefore these numbers fluctuate. But just to share, sir, in the beginning when we started off, there were hardly 2 to 3% of the people working in these consultancy firms who were local. Hardly 2 to 3%. All the people, we had to bring experts in from outside. But in the matter of the last 5 years to 6 years, slowly and steadily by training our own individuals, we are almost touching 30% today who are our own local boys and girls. And slowly, maybe that number will go up to 50%, 60%. So without compromising on the quality and the project, because of the larger picture of us getting these big projects. When we get this, for example, we got this 200 crores under the Swadesh Darshan challenge mode. This project is going to then further create employment also, because as tourism projects will be implemented, there will be a lot of local work generated, and obviously when the tourism grows, the employment will also grow. So we need to look at the entire larger picture, and as I said, I'm sharing with the honorable member that in the beginning there were hardly any of our local boys and girls because they had to be trained up. But today almost 30% of the people working are our own local boys and girls. And we are trying our best to ensure that more and more come into the field.
Yes, Barden, please.
I know from the Honorable Chief Minister, as per his reply A, two types of consultants. One is individual consultant and the other is consultancy firm. So may I know what is the type of service that the individual consultant is supposed to carry and the type of service that the consultancy firm is supposed to carry, sir?
So all of this depends on project to project basis. So depending on the project and the scope of the work, different kind of expertise are required. For example, sir, sometimes in a particular project, we only require accounting experts. We only require some financial experts. So at that point in time, we don't go for a firm. We go for individuals who then can, at individual capacity, support the complicated accounting works that need to be done. Sometimes, sir, we just need an expert who is there in terms of, say, the social impact assessment, the environmental impact assessment. So in those cases, we go for, again, individuals who are there who can manage. So any work that doesn't require us to go for larger firms, there, sir, we go for individual consultants. Then we have projects where, sir, we need a PMC, a project management consultant. For that, sir, everything from hand-holding from the point of preparing the DPR to actually helping in the designing of the project, the architectural design, to actually then help on implementing it. So in those complex areas where multiple tasks and multiple expertise are required, there we get the firms, and all these firms and processes are done through proper tendering process also, sir. So there's a procedure to also select these, and that is the kind of work that is done by individual and firms consultants, sir.
Sir, may I know from the Honorable Chief Minister whether the government is employing locals to support these consultants appointed by the government?
Yes, sir. As I have replied earlier, our target and our goal is to... You want to ask something?
No, you carry on.
Our goal and our target is to ensure that 100% of this work that is there, we bring in, and we try to bring our own people so that the employment generation is there. But as I said, sir, there's a window. We cannot compromise on the larger goal of getting the expertise in terms of the work that is to be done to enable us to then finally get that project. Because the goal is to get the project which will then benefit the economy and the youth at large. And I mentioned, sir, in the beginning, hardly 2-3% of our local boys and girls were in these firms, in these groups and individuals, because we were not able to get the kind of level of expertise that was required. But slowly, as we have moved along in the past years, the number has now almost touching 30%. And we will do our best to ensure that it goes to 50%, 60%, and we'll keep training our boys and girls, because that's really what we would want. We would like to see that our boys and all girls also are able to then work at this highest level and compete with global as well as national competitions.
Sir, why I'm asking this question, this is not the first time that our Honorable Chief Minister has explained on the need to have consultants. But sir, the question here is, why do we need to have consultants? When the service of our boys and girls can be taken along with those consultants, because it is through the hard work, the struggle of our local boys. These consultants, they are just instructing, but the struggle and hard works are being carried out by our local boys. So the government is paying lakhs. We were told that the government were paying lakhs of rupees to these consultants and thousands only to our boys who are struggling and work hard to get, the work done. So it shows that our local boys can carry out the work, can be engaged, and instead of engaging these consultants from outside the state, why don't the government make use of our boys who are competent enough to prepare the project? Of course, we understand that we need a network where we need someone to be there in Delhi to negotiate and maneuver the entire scheme. But the service of our boys, the credit I feel should not go to these consultants, because we are told that it is the struggle and the hard work of our boys. And the payment that are being given to our local boys is very small comparing to the payment given to the consultants. So that is the question. Why do we need to have consultants from outside the state when we have our own boys who are competent enough to prepare the project?
Sir, as I mentioned, number one, we have seen that there was a time when there were hardly any of our boys and girls who were part of this consultancy work. In the beginning, when we started off, very aggressively to move towards large projects. And in a matter of 7 years now, 30% of the workforce within the consultancy group are our local boys and girls. So we are clearly seeing the trend and the government's objective being achieved of ensuring that we bring in our local boys and girls into it. And slowly and steadily, we train them to bring up their expertise so that they can become more and more involved in this kind of work. Number one, so the trend is there, it is happening, and we will continue to work towards it. That is a commitment of this government, to ensure that we are able to create the different opportunities for our young boys and girls. So regarding the point where if a capacity of our boys and girls is there, why aren't we giving, sir? So that is not true. Wherever the capacity is there, qualification and capacity are two different aspects, sir. We have a lot of qualified people, but we need to create that capacity to be able to prepare those kind of different levels and of documents and DPRs and other technical aspects which are there. And that is where we are ensuring that wherever our boys and girls are capable, sir, we are giving an opportunity. The entire system of payments, sir, is completely transparent. So therefore, the question of selecting and giving less to our boys and girls and giving more to outsiders, sir, does not arise. Everything is based on the activity or the work that is being done. So therefore, while our boys and girls are working, we are getting many of them. So many of the groups you will see, there are a large number who are there, and we will continue, as I said, to train them. So the question of ensuring or paying less to our people and paying more to others, so does not arise. That's not the way things work. Everything is very transparent and based on the position and the responsibility that one works on. The payments and the salaries are there, whether you're from outside or whether you're from here. That is how it is. And so, as I said, it is our endeavor to ensure that more and more of our people are involved in these projects. But as I said, at the same time, as a government, I am looking also at the larger picture of being able to attract investment into our state in a time-bound manner, competing with large organizations and states. So you will be again happy to know that when the Unity Mall project, which is funded by Government of India, a 132 crore project, when this project came and the proposals had to be put up, Meghalaya was the first state to put up the proposal, and one of the first, I think there were 3 of them, who was the money was sanctioned, and we were the first. Some of them have not even received the funds till now. So that is how this 132 crores project came in. When this Unity Mall comes up, the shops that are going to be there are all going to be run by our local boys and girls, and therefore that economic opportunity also has to be seen, sir. So we cannot miss out on these funds. In the SASKI fund that we have, the money that is there available today, the normative allotment, last year was 720 crores. Meghalaya managed to get 1,500 crores. That means double the amount of our normative allotment. This year the normative allotment is 1,400 crores. We are going to touch 2,500 crores in terms of the sanction that is there. And this is happening, sir, because our documentation, because of the different paperwork that we're doing is at that level. And with this money will be pumped in for who, sir? For our people, to create the jobs. So there are certain things where we need to ensure that the quality of the work needs to be at the top level, and we have to work towards ensuring that the best is put in there, and we are working towards ensuring that our boys and girls are trained on the job. And as I said, in the starting there were hardly 1 or 2% locally. Today, keeping that objective in mind, we have managed to increase it to close to 30%, about 26, 28%, close to 30%, and we will continue to work to ensure that more and more. And I urge our youngsters also that these are opportunities that are there. Please train yourself, please work, please be dedicated on this whole thing so that we can work together, and we are there to handhold you, we are there to guide you, we are there to train you, and we'll be very happy to see that our boys and girls also are there competing at the top level in the country and in the world. So therefore the suggestion is very good, sir. We're taking the suggestion, we're moving forward. We'll ensure, sir, that more and more of our boys and girls get more and more opportunity even in this area of consultancy.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Dr. Mukul Sama, please.
My supplementary revolves around the reply to the principal question. B. Mr. Speaker, sir, we appreciate the fact that lots of works have been done by roping in consultants. And in fact, it was felt needed, and therefore we have many such programs which are being supported under EAPs. We were able to rope in many good consultants. But having said this, how we do it is very important. How we do it is very important. Now, the whole process of utilizing this consultant as an instrument to benefit the state is well appreciated. But in the process, we also have to scrutinize the kind of money that is being spent for that, whether it is being regulated properly or not. Now, may I therefore know from the Honorable Chief Minister whether it is a fact that while we have number of instruments, direct project management consultants, individual consultants, and also consultants appointed by the companies constituted by the government. We have had the report of that Shillong Smart City Limited. Is it a fact that some of these so-called outsourced employees, I will say employees, whether you call it consultant or whatever, but employee of the company is drawing salaries which is much more than even any of the officers in the state?
So the specific information and data about the salaries of each individual is not with me. But as I said, whenever we onboard any consultant or any kind of individuals or any organization, it is done through a proper tendering process. So therefore, for us to now go into the salaries of what the company is paying is not possible, sir. The companies that come in, they pitch in terms of the overall cost they can complete that task under. And based on that, we are able to then give the money to the companies pay. So therefore, it's not that, we do that. So when in case of individual, again, there are procedures that we follow that has to be done. And those procedures based on which, and all are transparent, based on which the amount is decided based on the task that is given. As I said, sir, these are not permanent jobs. These are all projects that are based on a particular task, and the work closes.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I think CM has already replied that he doesn't have it.
Sir, but I'm giving
you have already
reason.
explained other things. Allow us to have some more supplementary.
Yeah, I'll give you.
No, it is a tactical way to deprive us from putting on more supplementaries.
Sir,
you are perfecting this art. I appreciate, but then that is not the way. It's a question hour.
No. Let the Honorable...
No, Mr. Speaker, sir, repetition,
Sir,
merry-go-round, it's like a merry-go-round. We
I have again been saying, if they are passionate about asking, they should be patient.
Allow me to provide some more supplementary.
Please sit down.
So shall I continue? Or?
You may continue with your reply.
Yes, sir, because I think then what the opposition wants is that they just want to show that they are asking many questions, to show the people that they are asking, but they don't want to hear our reply. So doesn't seem that they're interested, so let them keep asking questions. I'll just sit down, sir. This is that.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I think it is wrong to say that we are not interested to hear. I think what is important here is how, together, mutually, with utmost respect to the dignity of this House, we utilize the time. We have many other areas of replying in this manner.
You may please ask.
Therefore, allow us to also put supplementaries.
One more question.
So sir, my other supplementary now, may I be allowed to put another supplementary, is that in view of the reply to my supplementary, since the Honorable Chief Minister has said he doesn't have this information, therefore, specifically pertaining to the salaries being paid, which is approved by the governing or the board of directors of the respective companies, may I get an assurance from the Chief Minister to put all these informations on the table of the August House. All the informations pertaining to different categories and salaries thereof.
Sir, I'll reply to that. But in general, I also want to share that the questions that are asked need an explanation. I am not trying to, extend my reply. I'm tired of replying, to be very frank, because it's tiring. But then I have to do it because I have a responsibility. And therefore, if I give a one-line answer, it does not give the entire picture. That is my only point, sir. I'm not trying to bore anybody. But then you have to understand why. Now, for example, they said salaries. Sir, the salary is not based on, say, what individual is paid. It's the task that is given. So you have to complete this within a matter of 1 year. So for that task to be completed, say 10 lakhs is given. Now if you divide 10 lakhs by 12, then you say, oh, per month the person is getting 80,000. So that cannot be seen because that will end after 10 months. That is what I'm trying to explain to everybody so that the people can understand that
You may take your time to reply.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So, but this reply, this question was very simple, sir. We can provide the information to the House.
In the course of the reply, the Honorable Chief Minister may get me wrong when I ask the difference in payment between those consultants and our local boys. It is the kind of the nature of work that I am questioning. When our local boys are doing all the struggle and the hard work, why should they be paid less? Because these consultants, they are not working on their own. We are engaging our boys. They have to go to the field and they work so hard. But the payment, as I've said, is very low to the locals and very high to these consultants because they carry the name of consultants and the local boys, they are just the assistants. So if our boys can carry the work, then why do we need these consultants, sir? So I just want to clarify that question. And my question, sir, here is whether it is a fact that the government is contemplating or may have appointed consultant in various government departments.
Yes, sir. So two questions were asked. So the reply to again the first one is that wherever our boys and girls are competent to come in and think, we are the happiest to engage them. It gives me personal satisfaction to see that our boys and girls also are able to perform at that level. So definitely, wherever our boys and girls are able to and capable of providing that service that we require to be able to meet the national and international standards, so we will be the happiest people, I'll be the happiest person to engage. Number two, sir, the question again, as I said, of giving somebody more for the same task. There are different tasks, so we cannot compare. But if the same task is there, so the question does not arise. Maybe project to project basis, it may be there, that I cannot say. But for the same project, if the same position, those kind of differences cannot be there. And if there are differences, then I'll be happy to address that issue.
Habatin, page bahagi kishab, kashab plus F.
Ka plus F?
Hakabam bangibam, dunaki eki batay kamet. Namar kata, habathiru atau kau kamlu ka umpnyang kadut, page ya kashab plus F hakajingsom. Yaki nutrient kumki vitamin bat ka ayan la icon diat bat akabatau bha kam kta ikadur jengki marbam kajing mat lani ka rukom shed yaki balehi banai kita kadon ka we kajing mentoy ba kongsan ka kot ka kia ka nutrition ba kambha kajing im ba kambha pendon kam daki marbam medon ka sharp plus F menta kasni
Lawan Ra Shafi Lingba ko office jong Commissionerate of Food Safety Meghalaya